Okay, now that you have this right here and hopefully your little tail tucked in there, if you haven't got this made and you are watching this video, please see the link in the description below and it will take you to this center part right here. So let's begin. Hopefully you have this already made. Now we will be slip stitching into the next stitch. Okay, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This counts as the first double crochet. We're going to be putting a double crochet in that same spot right next to it. Now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to be putting a slip stitch into the top of that double crochet there. Going to be doing that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to be putting a slip stitch right in top where we put our last slip stitch. Now we're going to be chaining 5 once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This time, however, we are going to be putting a single crochet around these two, so joining them together. You can also think of it as a front post single crochet if you want to. Otherwise, you can think of it as the single crochet is going to hug both of those double crochets together right around the neck. So right around the top, right underneath these two. I know it's a little tricky. We're going to try to get it as tight up as you can. Put a single crochet right up in there. Okay? Tighten that baby up there. Okay, so that'll give you a little 3 pattern type thing. So just make sure that it's really nice and tight up there. So now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and as you can see, I'll lay that down here. You can see that a little bit better. There you go. See, it kind of just hugs right around there, right on top there. It's a little tricky, I know, but it adds a cool little detail. Now we're going to skip these 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to put 4 double crochets in this chain space right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, put 2 double crochets in top of this stitch right here, so 2 of those. 1, 2. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a double crochet in top of that last double crochet we did. We're going to put a double crochet right there. Now we are going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put a slip stitch right in top of this last DC we made. Okay. I know this is kind of weird. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to put a double crochet right in top of this last double crochet that we made right here. We're going to chain 4 once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put a slip stitch right where we put our double crochet right here. Put a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll review this in just a moment. I'm going to put another slip stitch right in that same spot. Okay, let me pull my string here so that way I can take out my hook. So this is going to be the top of one of our little arms here. Okay, so just ignore my string right there. So what we did was we slip stitched into this next stitch right here. Then we chained 3, put a double crochet into that same spot. We chained 5, slip stitch in top of the DC, chain 5, slip stitch in top of the DC, chain 5, and then we ended up with a single crochet around the top of these two. Okay, so a single crochet right here. We then chained 3, we skipped 4 stitches, and in this chain space right here, we put 4 double crochets. Then we chained 3, and we put 2 double crochets in top of this stitch. We then chained 3, put a double crochet in top of this stitch right here. We then chained 5, put a slip stitch in top of this one, chained 4, put a double crochet in top of this stitch, chained 4, put a slip stitch in top of this one, chained 5, put a slip stitch in top of that one, and we are ready to work our way down. Remember, the first one's always the most difficult, and then it gets easier once we know what we're doing. Okay, now I gotta find my place on the pattern though. Okey-dokey. Now we are going to find this space right here where we did our chain 3 and our DC on top of this stitch. We're going to put 2 single crochets right here. 1 and 2. We're going to be putting a slip stitch right in top of this DC here. Now we're going to be putting 2 double crochets, a chain 3 and a slip stitch right where we did these 2. So right here and underneath these 2 double crochets is where we're going to put 2 double crochets and a chain 3 and a slip stitch right here. So we're going to put 2 double crochets. 1, 2, chain 3, put a slip stitch right there. Okay. Now we're going to put 4 double crochets in this chain space right here at the base. So we're going to put 4 DC right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to skip next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put 2 DC in the next stitch, and then I'm going to review because this is where our repeat starts. Straighten this out so we can see it better. Let me pull my hook here. Pull my string. Okay, so it's cute once we get it all. It's not cute while we're making it. So we did the slip stitch, and I'm just going to review this whole entire section. Slip stitched over to the next stitch, chain 3, put a double crochet in the same spot there, then chained 5, put a slip stitch in top of this DC, chained 5, put a slip stitch in top of this DC, chained 5, put a single crochet around the top of both of these to tie them together. Then we chained 3, we skipped these 4 stitches, and we put 4 double crochets in this chain space right here. We then chained 3, we put 2 double crochets right on top of this stitch right here. We then chained 3 We put a double crochet right on top of this stitch. We then chained 5, put a slip stitch in top of this DC, chained 4, double crocheted in top of this DC, chained 4, slip stitched in top of this DC, chained 5, slip stitched once again into the top of this DC. Then we put 2 single crochets around the side of this DC, put a slip stitch in top of this double crochet. Then we put 2 double crochets right next to these ones in this little space here. Then we chained 3 and put a slip stitch right in that chain space, or I mean that little space right there where we made our other DC. We then put a slip stitch in top of that double crochet right here. We ended up then putting 4 double crochets right in that chain space to finish that off. And we chained 3. We skipped 5 stitches here. We put 2 double crochets in this chain space right here. Okay, and then we're going to start our repeat. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting a slip stitch right in top of here. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting a slip stitch right in top of that once more. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to put a single crochet around both of those, hugging them together. Real tight up there. Real nice and tight. Real nice and tight. Okay? So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 4 double crochets in this chain space right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so you can see that we have our little cutie patootie right there, and a little fuzzy. Now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 2 double crochets in top of this DC right here. 1 and 2. I said and 2. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting a slip stitch right in top of there. I'm so sorry. We are then going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, putting 2 double crochets in this stitch right on top of here. We're then going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, putting a double crochet right on top of this stitch. We're then going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put a slip stitch right in top of this stitch here. We're then going to chain 5 once again, or sorry, we're going to chain 4. We're going to chain 4 right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put a double crochet right in top of this stitch. Chain 4. Put a slip stitch in top of this stitch. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting a slip stitch once again right next to that, or in that same spot right there. Okay. Now we're going to put 2 single crochets right around this. We're going to put a slip stitch in top of this double crochet right here. We're then going to put 2 double crochets right next to these in the same spot right above this double crochet here. So 1, 2, gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna put a slip stitch right in top or right below there, right, those 2 DC that we just did. We're gonna put a slip stitch in that same spot. Now we're gonna put 4 double crochets right in this chain space right next to these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting 2 double crochets in the next one, and we are starting our repeat once again. So right here we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to put our slip stitch right in top of that last DC that we made. Chain 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting a slip stitch right in top of that DC once again. Then we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This time, like we did before, we're going to hug it with a single crochet. So we're hugging these 2 with a single crochet. And then make sure it's nice and tight right up against the top there. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're going to put 4 double crochets in this chain space here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are now going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 2 double crochets right on top of this one. 1, 2. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a double crochet right on top of this DC here. Now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a slip stitch right in top of this DC. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in a double crochet right in top of this DC here where we put our slip stitch. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put a slip stitch right where we put our DC, that same spot there. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once again, we're going to put a slip stitch right there at the base. Now we're going to put 2 single crochets around this DC right here. 1 and 2. We're going to put a slip stitch right in top of this double crochet here. Now we're going to put 2 double crochets on top of this DC, so right here. One, 2. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a slip stitch right on top of this DC, on right where we put our last 2 double crochets. We're going to put 4 double crochets right in this chain space here. going to chain 3, skip the next 5 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, this one's kind of hidden right here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so put 2 double crochets in the next one. 1, 2, going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we're at our repeat. Going to put a slip stitch top of that last DC we made. Chain 5 once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting a slip stitch on top of that double crochet once more. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put a single crochet and hug those two together just like we did before. And if you need to give it a little pull wiggle, go right ahead. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, put 4. We're going to keep doing like we did this one. Put 4 double crochets right in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 2 double crochets right in top of this double crochet here. We're then going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, putting a double crochet on top of that last double crochet that we made. We're now going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting a slip stitch in top of this last double crochet that we made. If I can find the spot, there it is. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, putting a double crochet right in that same spot there. Chain 4. I'm going to put a slip stitch right at the base where we just put our double crochet. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put a slip stitch right in where our last slip stitch was. We're now going to put 2 single crochets right around that DC right there. You can see that little open space. 1, 2. I'm going to put a slip stitch in on top of this double crochet right here. Now we're going to put 2 double crochets right where we, in the same spot we put these 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Going to chain. I don't like how I did that, so I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to put my 2, redo that, make it a little tighter. There we go, that's better. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. If you hear weird snoring in the background, that is my cat Zeus. He's in here kind of hanging out with me in the corner. Okay, so now next to these 4, we're going to put 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip the next 5 stitches. So remember, this one's kind of hidden. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put 2 double crochets in that next stitch there. Going to be chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in top of that last DC we made. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in top of that last DC we made once again. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to put a single crochet around these two, just like we did before, giving it a nice hug. There we go. Gonna chain 3. We're going to put 4 DC in this chain space right here, same as we did before. 3, 4. Yep, every time that we do a little repeat, it gets a little easier. So now we're going to chain 3 because we know what to expect, what to look for. 1, 2. Now we're going to chain 3, put a double crochet in top of that last DC we made. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put a slip stitch in top of this DC right here. We're then going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a double crochet right where we put that slip stitch, right on top of that DC there. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put a slip stitch right where we put our DC, right on in top there. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to put a slip stitch, same place once again. We're going to put a single crochet right around here. We're going to put 2 of them there. 1 and 2. We're going to put a slip stitch right in top of this double crochet here. Now we're going to put 2 double crochets right where we placed the other ones, right on top of this one. 1 and 2. Going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Put a slip stitch right in the same spot we just put our DCs. Now I'm going to put 4 double crochets in this chain space to finish that off. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 5 stitches. Remember, this one might be considered hidden, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put in 2 double crochets in that next stitch. Going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in top of that DC. If it lets me. Come on. Come on. Okay. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in top of that same spot. Now we're going to chain 5 once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to put a single crochet around these 2 and give it a nice big hug. Tighten it up right up to the top there. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Going to be putting 4 double crochets in this last chain space here. We are then going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, putting 2 double crochets right here, right on top there. Going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, putting 1 double crochet on top of that last DC right there. Going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Putting a slip stitch in top of this DC. Going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Putting a double crochet right on top of here, right on top of that last double crochet we made. chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to put a slip stitch right at the base, right on top of this one. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to be putting a slip stitch right there. Finish that one off. Now we're going to be putting 2 single crochets here, working our way down. Putting a slip stitch in top of this DC right here. I'm going to put 2 double crochets right next to these 2, right in top of this one. So 1, 2, then do chain 3, 1, 2, 3, putting a slip stitch right where we put our 2 double crochets. Now we're going to put 4 double crochets in this chain space right here to finish off that little set there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to join with a slip stitch right in top here. But you know, an easier way, and it'll be easier to hide your tails. So you can either end with a chain 3 and put a slip stitch right up here, or you can take and make a triple crochet and put it right in top of this chain right here. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a slip stitch right in top of here. Okay. And we're going to fasten off. Let me open this up and do this here. I will have a video that will show me pinning all of these for you. And then I will have a video that, because my client just wants them for, to put into press into clay. So these ones are just going to get wet blocked. But I will have one that I will do that will stiffen it with Elmer's glue. Okay? So there is this one. So please join me for another one. And I will meet you back for the next one. Yeah, otherwise I'll see you at the blocking. Okay, see you in a bit.